You know, this thought came to mind. Seeing accidents on the socials. It doesn't matter which social it is, there's always an accident. There is always something going wrong somewhere. And it beats me to look within myself to see if I understand what it is that I'm asking God for each and every day. Like, if I understand what it is, am I just praying amiss? Am I just randomly just reciting words? Or do I really understand of the truth that I can leave my house and not return? That as sure as the route is every day from my journey to work or to church or to the market, it's not a surety that every day these same paths will be clear from incidents and from accidents. And so when I pray, am I truly like just putting it all to God? Am I truly, you know, sincerely praying to the living God, believing in Him, that when I manage to come home to my daughter, to come home to my family, it's not just a norm for me to come home. It's not just a regular thing, you know, for me to be home, to come home. It just makes you wanna truly like be mindful when you're praying, that you're not making up incidents, you're not making up situations that aren't gonna happen or is not a possibility. Even when you pray in the night and you go to bed and you ask the Lord, and you pray the scriptures like Psalms 3 and 4 that speaks about going to bed, lying down in safety, waking up in the morning, continuing by saying, I lay me down in peace and slept, and the Lord like awake me. You know, are we just repeating these things? Are we just reading these things? But are we truly mindful that these are all probabilities, not just scenarios? These are all things that can happen, that someone else is experiencing. And so we're not just merely, or I'm not just merely repeating words because it feels good, because, it's just a thing for me to pray. It's a thing for me to ask God for protection. And even already, I can feel my spirit and I can feel my mind. I can feel the momentum. I can feel the zeal of my heart because I know the new school year is about to begin, and I know that this will cause me to be on the road more than the average. Almost every day, I'm gonna be on the road. Not just me, my household, my relatives. And it makes me, it's almost like I don't have time enough to pray. I don't have words enough to pray, to truly ask God for this divine coverage, not just for me, not just for my household, but for friends, for family, for relative, for community, for the school, It just, I don't know. I'm just feeling some type of way. I'm just feeling some type of way because tomorrow is really not promised to anyone, and no one really knows. No one really knows. No one really knows. And as a believer, I think what should scare every believer is is that you're gonna die. Not the death. Death shouldn't scare us, but it's the fact that we can die and we are not sure where it is that we will go. We can die and we don't know if we're gonna make it into heaven. We don't know if the Lord will say, listen, well done. And if you don't know as a believer, it makes you want to hasten your steps to find your secret closet, to build your prayer life, to build your fasting life. And while I read and pray, I don't fast really. And I don't even want to say it, but I really want to commit myself to fasting once more. But for me, things can easily get out of hand when it comes to me and fasting. And I don't know if you know, you know what I mean by that. Things can just easily get out of hand when it comes to me and fasting. But I'm just truly grateful to God. And I'm just truly, you know, prayerful, maybe even fearful. But I know that perfect love casts out fear. I know that the Lord taught me years ago, instead of having fear, have faith. And I never really forget that because there were so many circumstances, so many situations around me that causes me to have fear and panic and anxiety and anger and caused me to behave wrathfully because I was fearful. I didn't know what to do, so I turned to anger. But the Lord said, instead of fear, have faith. And I do I live this every day, but I know as much as I can, especially when I'm reminded that the Lord taught me this. I choose to have faith instead of fear. I choose to believe God instead of having the enemy attacking my mind, instead of having the enemy clouding my judgment, instead of having the enemy having me like in a delusional or confusing state. It's just so much. I don't know. I don't know if it's just going out, but I'm just really prayerful and I'm just really mindful of so many things that can go wrong. But like David, I will look to the hills from whence cometh my help. Like Psalms 91. Listen, like all those covering and protecting scriptures, I will eat them, I will breathe them, I will believe the reports of the Lord. I will believe the words of the Lord. When my words fail, when I don't know what to pray about, when I don't know how to pray, I'm going to find a Psalms that express what I want to the Lord. Because without God, without God, tomorrow, the next second, it's not a surety. And gone are the days when I wanted to die. Not suicide, but just like, I'm just so tired. Yeah. Gone are those days. No, I'm so hopeful. I'm full of hopes. I'm full of dreams. I am anticipating. I'm waiting to see the dreams of others manifest before me. I'm waiting to see the prayers of my friends and loved ones and persons that I really care about or are really waiting on God to do something for them. I am waiting to rejoice with them. I don't know if that's crazy, but yeah.